Okay. And you know, honestly, we have a lot of things that are hitting us right now visually, which would be like the vata, you know, the overload of sensory, like seeing things on the TV, hearing things on the radio. There's a lot of stuff going on that we are taking in knowingly or unknowingly that will be affecting our bodies, nervous systems, our hearts. So I kind of want to focus on that letting go too during this practice today, and just make it overall healing and balancing. Okay, so the first one, we're going to just get right into the depth of it, and we're just going to do that psoas release. I really love that, but that's where I wanted to start. So we'll need the block and the strap for that, and I want to just put down a little softness. You can put down the blanket and open it up, lay it out, just so you have something to lie on, and then something to support the head. So rolling up the end of a blanket. I mean, it can be, you decide. I don't know how you know long your neck is, so you might want to roll it up more, you might want to roll it up less. As long as you have neck support. We're going to take the strap, of course, loop it, and then put it around the thighs. We do want to separate the feet because the knees are going to want to be able to fall together, and we're going to strap them in tight to hold the block. This is basically allowing the femurs to drop and holding the knees in a position where, or the thighs or the femur bones in a position where we don't have to hold on to them perfectly even, so the psoas can release. So that's why the block is there. Once you have everything set up, lie down. And already begin to feel that release in the legs. You shouldn't have to use anything muscularly here. Okay, even though the knees are bent, the knees should feel as if they're falling towards each other, and you shouldn't be holding the block. Everything is being supported for you. You can keep your hands on your belly. And begin to settle in here. So the Sitali breath is what we're going to work on. It isn't just a cooling breath. It's also a tension reliever, a stress reliever. And it's a slow inhale with the shape of your lips, either like you're sucking in a straw or your tongue is curled. So Jesse, you've already done this one, so you're aware of that. We talked about it this morning. So if you can't curl your tongue, then you're gonna just purse your lips like you're sucking in. And it's like this, you inhale, exhale through the nose. 3 more times, inhale. Do 2 more on your own. And then return to your regular passive breath. Jesse, if your legs are not tied, you can actually separate your feet to the edges of the mat and let your knees hang together. I can't, oh, they are, okay. We're gonna be here for a good amount of time. Use your breath to relax all the muscles in the face. Soften the neck into your support. Release the spine. And really bring your awareness to the hip sockets and the muscles around the pelvis. Notice any gripping. And consciously let go of the gripping. Feeling even more of a release in the legs. And knowing that the strap is there to support the legs so you can let go. And really begin to tap into that healing power of this restorative yoga. Bring your awareness to your feet touching the mat, the hips, the back of the body, the arms, and the head touching the mat. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. And then slowly roll to the side, mindfully moving to take the strap off. And then pressing up to prepare for the next posture. So we'll be in a Supta Baddha Konasana, supported cobbler's pose. We'll be doing these postures to lift the heart and open the hips. So we're going to need the block. Bolster, the strap, and then, 2 pillows or the blankets if you have them. Something to support the knees. So we want to take our block and we can just have it on the medium setting. So medium. I'm going to put the bolster up there. If you have 2 blocks, you can put, another one to support you underneath here. But I guess, you're going to want the bolster so it can support your head. But also, we don't want, I know my bolster can sink a little bit if I'm not too far enough up on the block. So if we have to adjust it, we will. The strap is going to go around the waist. So make it big enough. Jesse, you might not be able to do this one. And you know what? I can actually bring you one of these. So you might not be able to use the strap, but you can do everything else. If you don't have a strap, I will show you, the rest of it. So we want the pillows or the blankets to be available to support our knees. The bottoms of the feet are going to come together. And if you have the strap, make it long enough so it can go around the feet. So I'm going to move this pillow just to show you. So it's around the waist. It goes around the feet. You want the strap, the pulley part near your hand so you can adjust it when you lie down, okay? So lying back on the bolster, you want to make sure the sacrum and the tailbone are on the ground. My strap is actually good enough, but if you want the heels to come closer to the body, just pull the strap. And then we're going to have the knees supported. Hands are just going to be along the sides of the body. And we'll begin to settle into this posture, making any last minute adjustments. So really acknowledging the importance of your practice today and always, but yoga having the ability to affect us on really every level of our being, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's just a very effective tool for healing. So again, bring your awareness to the muscles, beginning with softening the muscles in the face, releasing the tongue, the jaw, the throat, softening the shoulders and the spine, really allowing that support to hold you up. And then noticing where you're gripping in the hip sockets. And if you are gripping in the hip sockets, see if you can find any spots where you need to let go consciously to let the knees hang open further, knowing that that support is there for you. Take 3 deep breaths, bringing awareness back to the body. And after that third breath, bring the hands to the outer legs, slowly bringing the knees back together. Unhook the feet, roll onto the side, and take a moment before you slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Our next posture is going to be Supta Virasana, so supported hero pose. I wouldn't do this posture if I didn't know that it was accessible to both of you. And we are going to keep the bolster and the block exactly how it is. But what you will need underneath is some softness for your feet. So let's see. We might actually want to move this to put a blanket down first. So go ahead and do that. But we're going to bring it right back. Have the blanket big like this. And then go ahead and set the block up at the end of the mat. It could be on medium setting again. It's going to depend on your flexibility in your knees. If this is too much leaning back, then you might want to have it at the higher setting. It just is more stable on the medium setting, so I prefer to just stay there, start there. The first thing we need to do is take this strap and put it around the thighs, okay? So let's go ahead and get that set up. And hopefully your other blanket is nearby still. It should be. I know you have all your stuff near you. The strap isn't going to be super tight. Okay, we want some more support for our head at the top of the pillow. So maybe just open your blanket, fold it in half, and just lie it across the top. So for hero pose, we are going to, knees do not have to be together. The femur bones do have to be pointing in the same direction though. That's where the strap comes in. It's going to keep our legs going in the same direction and aligned. So what we want to do is roll the calf muscles out, and the heel should be on the outside of the legs. Calf muscle out. So if this is uncomfortable and you need to put, maybe roll up your blanket to get some more height under your bum, you could do that. The blanket on the bottom is for the tops of your feet. So we want the bolster to be up against the body, and then slowly lie yourself back. So your head should be supported. If this is uncomfortable for your knees or your knees are lifting up, I want you to use your hands to bring yourself back up, put something underneath the knees. I'm gonna come look at you guys. So Barbara, if you give me a thumbs up if you're okay in this posture. Okay, good. Because we're going to be here a little bit, so it should feel supportive. Not a back bend or anything like that. Jesse, if you give me a thumbs up if you feel comfortable. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Take a moment to settle into this posture. It's next level relaxation and opening up and letting go. So, if we're gripping in the hips or the knees or even the chest, we want to bring our breath to those areas and soften. And once you feel settled, just allow the rhythmic movement of the breath to come and go effortlessly. The inhale and the exhale coming and going like the waves on a beach. So, if the knees get uncomfortable, just lie down with the legs straight. You okay? Just keep the legs straight. You can bring the arms up overhead and grab the elbows. And if the arms get tired, you can bring them back down. Bring your awareness back to the breath. And Barbara, if you'd like to bring your arms overhead to grab the elbows, if that's not too deep of a stretch, you can do that or keep the arms where they are. We're going to take 3 breaths where we are and then slowly move out of this posture, and we're going to move out of it safely. When you're done with your 3rd breath, bring your hands near your feet, and you're going to use the strength of your arms to walk the torso up. Push yourself up, and very carefully bring the feet closer to the body. And take a moment, pause. You can push yourself forward. Yeah. So Jesse, tell me what happened.
I got a Charlie horse.
Good. We can deal with Charlie horse.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just hoping that it wasn't something in your knee, you know? So
Oh, no.
okay.
No, just a good old-fashioned Charlie horse.
We can handle. All right, we're gonna move on to our twists for the next one. And Barbara, your knees are good? Yeah, that's definitely an intense one. Okay. So we're gonna take our block is gonna stay up here because we're gonna use that to rest our arm. And then we're gonna take our one blanket and we're gonna roll it all the way up. And this is gonna be support up by the block. Actually for the neck here. And then we're gonna have our bolster. And if you want it to be, I think both of your bolsters are high enough where just having it long-wise will be good enough support. If you want to use your extra blanket for this one to cover up, anytime you can do that, definitely do it. So I'll show you what we're doing here. Knees are just going to be stacked. No special way. We're not using the strap for this one. We're going to have the ribs on top of the bolster. The arm will be in between the blanket and the bolster, supporting your neck. And then the block, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually open up the left shoulder a little bit here and come into a twist this way. So we want this block to support the hand. Okay? So it's like a side opening and a twist at the same time. Opening up the chest, opening up the side ribs. Just take a moment to survey the body and make any last adjustments to get as comfortable as possible. Even if it means moving your knees around a little bit. And if at any time you feel tingling in that arm, the block is there to support it, but if it's not enough after a few minutes, you can bring the arm down. And as you lie here, begin to breathe into the left side of the body. As we continue to practice yoga, we learn how to constrict some areas of the body and expand other areas of the body. So even if it's just a minute movement, we can still visualize, which is also a good thing for the pitta, the visualization for the body. We can visualize it, we can carry the breath and focus on expanding without forcing the breath, though. Just let the breath come and go naturally. But when the inhale does come, let it travel to the left lung, expanding those ribs. and seeing in your mind's eye that space within the body. So, as we come into the season of Pitta, or have our own balance of that natural constitution of our body, we find great focus. And this can be useful as we transition from one month to the next, one season to the next, one phase of our lives to the next. And this begins on the mat. So I want you to focus as you transition out of this posture slowly. Every movement, be mindful, beginning by bringing the arm down. And then rolling completely on your right side. Feeling the ground as you push yourself up to carry this posture out on the left side of the body. As you lie down, be mindful of the ribs lying down on the bolster, the support on the neck, and reaching the right arm up and over as you let the right shoulder fall back. Moving the block where it needs to go. Figuring out the support you need for your transition and taking it. Taking those last minute adjustments and settling back into the natural rhythm of the breath. Now breathing into the right lung, expanding the right ribs. And feeling that space that you're creating within the body. Come back to the breath. Three more breaths into the right side of the body. And then slowly bringing your overhead arm back down to the side of the body. And carefully pressing yourself up to prepare for our last posture of the night, our supported Shavasana. So we're going to bring all the things we have. 2 bolsters if you have them, bolster and pillows, blankets. So if you have the 2 bolsters, and if you only have 1 bolster even, I want you to use it to support the spine. So lie it flat on the mat. And then you're going to take 1 blanket and just triple fold it and put it at the top of the mat. That's going to be like your pillow. The other bolster or pillows are going to go down to the feet. So if you're using a bolster, Barbara, I think you have a bolster, I want you to, I think it's maybe oblong. Instead of using it flat, I want you to put it up like this and use it directly under the knees. Okay? And then if you don't have a second bolster, just stack pillows, blankets, everything you can to go underneath the knees. So get a blanket ready if you're able to cover yourself with a blanket. So we want the leg support to be directly under the knees. And then we want the other bolster supporting the spine. Covering up with the blanket and coming into your Shavasana with the palms facing up underneath the blanket. Making any last minute adjustments to the body so that you can completely surrender to gravity. We're going to do the Satali breath one more time as we enter our Shavasana. So when you're ready, inhale as if you're sucking through a straw. Exhale through the nose. Again, inhale. And one last time on your own. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Taking deep inhalations and long, slow exhalations. And before you begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, I wanted to share a quote by Heraclitus. No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. So each time you step onto your mat, you gain momentum in your practice. The way you practice yoga is different, and who you are as a person is different after each and every class. That's something to thank yourself for. Go ahead and begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then begin to slowly move the wrists and the ankles, taking time to wake the body. When you feel motivated to do so, you can bend the knees one at a time. Maybe take a stretch or hug the knees or rock the knees back and forth. Whatever feels good, whatever the body's asking you for right now. And then roll onto your right side when you're ready. Take another breath or two on your side, taking this last opportunity to leave behind anything that is not useful to you anymore, or any stress or tension you may be carrying in the body, knowingly or unknowingly. Consciously leave it behind in this Shavasana. And then slowly press yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you this evening. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.